Okay, we're back for round 13 of the 40-point quiz. Just another big shout out to the girls down in the hospice down the Shankill there, and Davy from Lisburn came in with a good score last week. The other week, Caroline got a good score, and Stevie and Rita had a 27 or 6. I think he said it's 26. Josie and Bill had 25. So hopefully this week we'll see us first over 27. So let me know if you get 27. I've had a look through them here, and I think 27 is gettable here. So we're going to start with round 1. Don't forget, usual after eight questions, pause it, and then I'll give you the answers out. So if you want to rewind it and go over some of them, and then you can pause it to get the answers. Number 1. In which movie did Glenn Close's character boil a bunny? In which movie did Glenn Close's character boil a bunny? Number 2. In which profession would you use a Snellen chart? In which profession would you use a Snellen chart? S-N-E-L-L-E-N. A Snellen chart. Number 3. The DAX is a financial market index for which country? The DAX, D-A-X, is a financial market index for which country? D-A-X. And number 4. Where would you find the government body called the Tynwald? T-Y-N-W-A-L-D. Where would you find the government body called the Tynwald? Number 5. In the song Jilted John by Jilted John, what was the name of his girlfriend? What was the name of Jilted John's girlfriend in the song Jilted John? And number 6. Which insurance company sponsored the English Rugby Union Premiership from 2010 to 2018? Which insurance company sponsored the English Rugby Union Premiership from 2010 to 2018? And number 7. What title does the leader of Mexico hold? Okay, what title does the leader of Mexico hold? And number 8. In the film National Velvet, Elizabeth Taylor played Velvet Brown. What was the name of her horse? What was the name of the racehorse in National Velvet? Remember, it won the Grand National, but then she fell off it on the way past the lane before she got to the weighing room and got disqualified. So I didn't win, but got disqualified after winning it because she just fell off she came off her horse before she got into the weighing room or something like that. The rules. Right. Pause the answers. If you want to go back and go over a few, and I'm going to give you the answers here. Pause the quiz. Number 1. In which movie did Glenn Close's character boil a bunny? It was Fatal Attraction. And number 2, which profession would you use a Snellen chart? It would be an optician. No, the ones with all the wee letters on it all the way down, getting smaller. A Snellen chart. The DAX is a financial market index for which country? It's Germany. And where would you find the government body called the Tynwald? It's the Isle of Man. In the song Jilted John by Jilted John, what was the name of his girlfriend? It was Julie. I've been going out with a girl, her name is Julie. Okay, number 6. Which insurance company sponsored the English Rugby Union Premiership from 2010 to 2018? It was Aviva. Number 7. What title does the leader of Mexico hold? It's the President of Mexico. In the film National Velvet, what was the name of the racehorse? It was Le Pie. Okay, count them up. Take a wee note of them here, and we're going to go on to round 2. Hope you get you need about 5, or I hope you got about 5. I'm averaging, think you're going to get about 5 in that one. Right, a wee bit of a mixture here. Number 1, what's the capital of Libya? What is the capital of Libya? And number 2, Better Call Saul was a spin-off from which TV series? Better Call Saul was a spin-off from which TV series? And number 3, what was the name of Bob Seger's backing band? Bob Seger, no Hollywood Nights and all that there. What was the name of Bob Seger's backing band? And number 4, wee TV advertisement one. Which product had the TV advertising slogan, "Sweet as the moment when the pod went pop"? Okay, which product had the TV advertising slogan, "Sweet as the moment when the pod went pop"? Number 5, which war began in 1950 and officially ended in 1953? Which war began in 1950 and officially ended in 1953? And number 6, who was the first actress to appear on a postage stamp? Who was the first actress to appear on a postage stamp? And number 7, what is Paul McCartney's middle name? What is Paul McCartney's middle name? And number 8, George Washington was the first president of the USA, but who was the second? George Washington was the first president of the USA, but who was the second? Okay, pause it. Going to give you the answers. Number 1, what's the capital of Libya? Tripoli. Better Call Saul was a spin-off from which TV series? It was Breaking Bad. And what was the name of the Bob Seger's backing band? It's Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. 4, which product had the TV advertising slogan, "Sweet as the moment when the pod went pop"? It was Bird's Eye Peas, Bird's Eye frozen peas. It was Bird's Eye Peas. Number 5, which war began in 1950 and officially ended in 1953? It's the Korean War. And who was the first actress to appear on a postage stamp? It was Grace Kelly. Princess Grace of Monaco appeared on the postage stamp. Number 7, what is Paul McCartney's middle name? His middle name is Paul. His real first name is James. He just took Paul as his name. Paul McCartney. It's James Paul McCartney. Number 8, George Washington was the first president of the USA, but who was the second? John Adams. Okay. So I hope you are on about 12. Hope you are on the average in about 12 there. Maybe even 11. Could give me a chance here getting your 27. Number 1. Is this all music one? Yes, this is a music round. Who had a big hit with the song Grace Kelly? Who had a big hit with the song Grace Kelly? And number 2, which group had their biggest hit with the song The Story of the Blues? Okay, which group had their biggest hit with the song The Story of the Blues? Just like that wee song. It's a good wee number. And number 3, the backing group. Who was the backing group of the singer Harold Melvin? Who was the backing group of the singer Harold Melvin? Number 4, in Right Said Fred's song "I'm Too Sexy," what was the first city mentioned in the lyrics? In Right Said Fred's song "I'm Too Sexy," what was the song? The first city mentioned in the lyrics of the song. What was the first city? Is we all singing it? Right. Number 5. Who had a top 10 hit in the early 70s with the song "Back Off Boogaloo"? Who had a top 10 hit in the early 70s with the song "Back Off Boogaloo"? Famous singer. And number 6. Which song mentioned the characters Lee, Gus, Roy, Stan and Jack? Which song mentions the characters Lee, Gus, Roy, Stan and Jack? And number 7. Which group took its name from 2 cartoon characters in Tintin? Which group took its name from two cartoon characters in the Tintin? Hergé's Adventures of Tintin. And the last one in this round. Who did Stevie Wonder say was as distant as the Milky Way? Who did Stevie Wonder say was as distant as the Milky Way? Okay, pause it, and we're going to come out with the answers. Who had a hit with the song Grace Kelly? It was Mika. Which group had their biggest hit with the song The Story of the Blues? It was Wah, and then the Mighty Wah. The Mighty Wah. Who was the backing group of the singer Harold Melvin? It was Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. In Right Said Fred's song I'm Too Sexy, what was the first city mentioned in the lyrics? It was Milan. Who had a top 10 hit in the early 70s with the song Back Off Boogaloo? It was Ringo Starr. And which song mentions the characters Lee, Gus, Roy, Stan and Jack? 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover by Paul Simon. Number 7. Which group took its name from two cartoon characters in Tintin? That was the Thompson Twins. And number 8. Who did Stevie Wonder say was as distant as the Milky Way? My Cherie Amour. Okay, it was My Cherie Amour. Right, count them up. We're going to go into round 4. Okay, which city? I'm only looking. I was going to ask you for the museum, but only the city will do. Which city would you go to see the statue, the Venus de Milo? I was actually went in to see a few other things, and it wasn't there. Somebody said the arms was broke off or something, so I didn't get seeing it. So, which city would you go in to see the statue, the Venus de Milo? Number 2, which bird can be called a peewit and a green plover, P-L-O-V-E-R? Has it more commonly known? Which bird can be called a peewit and a green plover? Has it more commonly known? Right, another TV advertisement one for you. Which TV advertisement said that was advertising TV contained the words, Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot? You hum it, son, I'll play it. Okay, what was the product advertising that there? Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot? You hum it, son, I'll play it. And number 4. To be a true Cockney, you have to be born within the sound of the church bells of which church? To be a true Cockney, you have to be born within the sound of the church bells of which church? Okay, number 5. What is the alternative name for a boat for a crossbow? The boat can also be called something else, okay? So what's the alternative name for a boat for a crossbow? And number 6. Which famous book and TV show was created by the Reverend William Audrey and his son Christopher? Okay, which famous book and TV show was created by the Reverend Wilbert Audrey and his son Christopher? Okay, number 7. WD-40, the chemical spray that does, what does WD stand for? Okay, the WD-40, the chemical spray, what does WD stand for? Here's one that you might need to write down. Which word can go after friend, flag and hard? Which word can go after friend, flag and hard? Okay, pause it, and if you want to go over a couple of them, and then I'll give you the answers here. Okay, number 1. Which city would you go to see the statue, the Venus de Milo? You'd go to Paris. It's in the Louvre. I was only joking about the arms too. didn't see it that day. Don't know where I was on the wrong floor where I didn't notice it. I just went to see the Mona Lisa really, and didn't get seeing the Venus de Milo. Right, number 2. Which bird can be called the peewit on the green plover, has it more commonly known? A lapwing. In a TV advertisement, which product was advertised on TV saying, "Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot? You hum it, son, I'll play it." It was the Chimps again. It was Brook Bond, PG Tips. If you said T, give yourselves a point for T. To be a true Cockney, you have to be born within the sound of the church bells of which church? It's within the sound of the bells of St Mary Le Bow. Okay, so it's St Mary Le Bow. And what's the alternative name for a bolt for a crossbow? It can also be called a quarrel. Quarrel, a quarrel. And which famous book and TV show was created by the Reverend Wilbert Audrey and his son Christopher? It was Thomas the Tank Engine. And WD-40, the chemical spray, what does WD stand for? It's water displacement, or water displacing. So if you have water displacement or water displacing, give yourselves a point. The 40 came, it took 40 goes with a formula to get it right. So it was WD-40. And what word can go after friend, flag, and hard? Ship, friendship, flagship, hardship. Okay, so it was ship. So count up your scores and see if you're going to anywhere near hitting the 27 points here. Get into the last round. It's a wee mixture. And number 1. Which song's lyrics begin with the words, "In the event of something happening to me"? Which song's lyrics begin with the words, "In the event of something happening to me"? And number 2. Originally, the online store Amazon only sold what? Originally, the online store Amazon only sold what? Only sold one thing. What was it? And number 3. The old Irish saying, "Top of the morning to you," meaning the best part of the morning to you. What is a phrase that's usually said back? Okay, when somebody says "top of the morning to you," what's the normal phrase that you would say back to them? Back in the day, you don't hear it as much. Okay, number 4. What would you have done if you've committed regicide? What would you have done if you committed regicide? And number 5. What is said to be 9/10 of the law? What is said to be 9/10 of the law? Which bodybuilding program had the advertisement in magazines that started with a guy getting sand kicked in his face? Okay, so which bodybuilding program had the advertisement in magazines that started with a guy getting sand kicked in his face? And for a wee bonus point, you're not getting a bonus point for it, but for a wee special point, but you're not getting a point. Just see if you know this one. He was also called a something weakling. How many pounds weakling was this guy said he was? He was a something pound weakling. You don't get a point for that. I'm just see if you know it amongst yourselves. Number 7. What was the name of the Duke of Wellington's horse? It was his favourite horse, and he rode it in the Battle of Waterloo. Okay, what was the name of the Duke of Wellington's horse that he rode in the Battle of Waterloo? Arthur Wolseley. The Duke of Wellington, I think it was called Arthur Wolseley. What was his favourite horse? And done a week online quiz with friends here on Friday night, and this wee one came up. I actually gave the wrong answer, and I put an N on the end of it. Okay, what was the ship that first came to the rescue of the passengers of the Titanic? What was the ship that first came to the rescue of the passengers of the Titanic? Okay. Pause it. I'm going to give you the answers here and then add up your scores and let me know if you hit anywhere near 27. Okay, number 1. What song's lyrics begin with the words, "In the event of something happening to me"? It was a New York mining disaster, 1941, by the Bee Gees. And there was no New York mining disaster in 1941. Apparently it was based on the disaster in Wales. Okay, so number 2, originally the online store Amazon sold only what? Books. And the old Irish saying, top of the morning to you, what's the correct response? The correct response is, and the rest of the day to yourself. Okay, so somebody says top of the morning to you, and the rest of the day to yourself. What would you have done if you committed regicide, killed the king, or took part in it? Okay, so if you're even involved with it, you'd be done for regicide as well. Okay, what is said to be 9/10 of the law? Possession. And which bodybuilding program had the advertisement in magazines that started with a guy getting sand kicked in his face? It was Charles Atlas. And the wee guy that got sand kicked in his face, his weight, he was a 97-pound weakling. A 97-pound weakling, according to the ad in the wee magazine ad. And number 7, what was the name of the Duke of Wellington's horse that he rode in the Battle of Waterloo? It was his favourite horse. It was Copenhagen. Copenhagen. And what was the ship that first came to the rescue the passengers of the Titanic? It was a Carpathia. The Carpathia. I said on Saturday night the Carpathia, and I thought it was an N on the end of it. It's a Carpathia. It was also do you remember the ship that was nearest, and then they probably seen the flares but ignored it, was the SS Californian. He was the closest boat to see the flames but took no action. And the guy, Captain Lord, called him Captain Lord, he spent years and years and years trying to clear his name, and it came out with a fine and said even if that ship had came to rescue, it would have made no difference. The same amount of people probably would have died anyway. So the SS Californian didn't help. They just ignored the distressed call. Okay, count your scores up and let me know how you've done. And hope you get anywhere near 27. But Stephen Rita got 27 last week. So just build 27 this week. Give us a shout and let us know how you've done. See us all next week.